we talk about India's growth, especially in travel, the mind immediately goes to the big players. Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, maybe Goa, Pune, Hyderabad too.
Those are the traditional anchors, definitely,
Right.
where the investment has historically flowed.
Right. But if you're still only looking there, you are, frankly, missing maybe the biggest, quietest change happening in Indian hospitality right now.
It's a huge blind spot.
So today we're doing a deep dive. We're looking at research from Chef Arun Chanda of Mint Hospitality Consultancy. He's explored what he calls the unseen truths, the blind spots, shaping the future of hotels and resorts in India.
And our mission is pretty clear. Understand the geographic and economic shifts, the big ones driving hospitality growth over the next, say, decade.
Yeah.
Specifically outside the metros.
Yeah. Okay, let's unpack this. This really is a crucial pivot.
It really is. And like you said, it's a blind spot for so many, especially global investors, because this isn't just, a bit of overflow from the big cities.
Right, not just spillover.
No, it's a systemic, deliberate reengineering of the whole map. It's driven by infrastructure, changing travel psychology.
Okay, give us the headline number then. How big is this? If you need one metric, just one, to get the scale of this redirection, here it is. The research projects that by 2029, so not far off.
Yeah, nearly 50%, half of all branded hotel rooms in India will be in Tier 3 and Tier 4 markets.
Half in the large towns, the smaller cities.
The heartland.
Exactly. That single fact changes everything. Competition, development, risk, opportunity, the whole game.
50% is. Well, it's colossal. And what really struck me from the sources was the speed. You mentioned 2029, but this isn't some far-off projection, is it? It's happening now.
Oh, absolutely. It's already peaked in terms of new plans.
The source material says in 2024 alone, over 75% of new hotel signings. So contracts for future hotels.
Yeah.
Happened outside the main metros. 75%?
Yeah.
That stat is just crucial. It shows developers, brands, they're decoupling their risk from just relying on Mumbai or Delhi. They're betting big on a different map.
Okay, put that in context. What's the total number of rooms we're talking about?
So India's total branded inventory, roughly 180,000 rooms in 2024, the projection. Over 300,000 by 2029.
Wow. So an addition of 120,000 new branded rooms in 5 years?
Exactly. But here's the kicker, the critical finding from the research. Approximately 110,000 of those new rooms, the vast majority.
The vast majority, yeah, will come from these Tier 3 and Tier 4 markets. That's like a 60, maybe 65% jump in non-metro supply.
So the success of the entire Indian hotel sector for the next decade really hinges on places like Heri. You mentioned Ayodhya, Ujjain.
Ayodhya, Ujjain, Guruvayur, even places like Sapatara, Khopoli. It's a whole new geography of opportunity.
That feels like a huge bet, though. These places historically didn't have the big corporate travel base or major international airports. So what's really powering this? What are the forces?
Well, the research boils it down to what they call the 3 C's. Okay.
Connectivity, culture, and confidence. They work together.
Right, let's break those down. Connectivity first. That seems foundational.
It has to be. Without reliable access, none of this works financially, especially for higher-end properties. And the infrastructure changes are genuinely shrinking the map.
How so?
Massive government investment. The Ujjain scheme, for example, that's focused on regional airports, subsidized flights, that's critical. And then you've got thousands of kilometers of new, top-quality expressways. Suddenly, towns that felt remote are now just a 3, 4, 5-hour drive from a major metro.
Okay, so if I'm a developer, that changes my whole calculation. Logistics are easier, staffing is maybe a bit easier to manage.
And crucially, your target market can actually reach you. That urban weekend traveler, they can now drive to your resort easily.
Before it might have meant an expensive flight, now it's a road trip.
Precisely. Cheaper, more accessible for that growing middle and affluent class. It massively expands the potential customer base, especially for leisure. Okay, C number 2, culture. This feels like the demand engine, right? Especially in the north and central parts. It's the engine providing sustained year-round demand. That's the key. Spiritual and heritage tourism is absolutely central.
Like Ayodhya, Varanasi.
Exactly. Ayodhya, Varanasi, Ujjain. These aren't just quick pilgrimage stops anymore. There's been huge redevelopment, state-backed projects. They're attracting sophisticated visitors all year round, often tied to specific events or newly developed heritage sites.
So it's not just seasonal tourism, which is harder to build a hotel business on.
Right. This consistent non-seasonal demand finally gives major international brands the confidence, the solid business case to commit serious capital. Which leads us to the third C, confidence. This is the supply side meeting that demand.
Yeah, the whole ecosystem has just matured incredibly. Getting capital for projects outside the metros used to be a huge hurdle.
But now you have local investors stepping up. Often, generational business owners, smaller developers in these regions, they see the new roads, they see the cultural demand.
And they're willing to put their own money in.
Yes, and they're partnering directly with the big brands, Radisson, Lemon Tree, Regenta, IHCL. It's not just capital flowing into Tier 3 India, it's local confidence, deploying capital within Tier 3 India, but with that brand quality assurance behind it.
That shift in local funding, local confidence. Yeah, that's fascinating. Shows a real market maturity. Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's talk specifics. Which actual cities are shaping this boom? Where are we seeing this happen on the ground?
Well, we're seeing kind of three main categories emerge from the research. First, you've got those spiritual anchors we mentioned.
Like Ayodhya.
Take Ayodhya. Yeah, it's not just a religious site anymore. It's becoming a proper hospitality powerhouse. You've got Leela, Oberoi, Radisson, all planning high-profile projects there running through to 2029. And this is high-end investment, not just basic lodging.
Wow. Oberoi and Leela and Ayodhya.
Then Ujjain, boosted by the Mahakal Corridor project, that's drawing major mid-scale brands like Holiday Inn, Lemon Tree. They're catering efficiently to that faith-driven market.
What about the South? We sometimes hear less about this scale of growth there.
It's happening there too. Guruvayur in Kerala, the famous temple town. It's following a similar path. There's a Novotel, Radisson's coming too. The demand pattern, faith, plus better access, it's pretty universal across India.
But it's not just pilgrimage sites, right? You mentioned leisure escapes earlier. Tapping into that drive time radius. Absolutely. That's the second category.
Yeah.
The drive to resorts. Look at Khopoli near Mumbai or Saputara near Ahmedabad.
Okay.
They are rapidly becoming branded resort zones, offering experiences that genuinely compete with, say, flying to Goa for the weekend. It serves that huge demand for easy weekend getaways from the big cities.
And the third category, you mentioned frontiers. Are we seeing brands push into even smaller places, Tier 4? Yes, and that's where you see maybe the first mover risk, but also potentially the biggest long-term reward. Tier 4 cities like Yavatmal, Prayagraj, they're seeing their first wave of branded hotels.
What's driving that, if not tourism?
It's less pure tourism there, more regional business needs, maybe some industrial spillover. Plus, as infrastructure improves, there's a need for quality places for government officials or corporate visitors to stay. It becomes almost mandated.
What's really striking across all these tiers, though, is the type of hotel. You said it's not mostly budget places rushing in.
No, definitely not. The data shows the growth is heavily led by mid-scale, upscale, and even experiential hotels.
Doesn't that signal a pretty fundamental change in the Indian traveler themselves?
It absolutely does. It confirms this idea of the new Indian traveler being, quality-driven, but also seeking a story and experience. Authenticity, local flavor, yeah. But delivered with the reliability and quality assurance of a known brand. And they're willing to pay a bit more for that.
And where is this happening most, geographically?
Geographically, North India is really leading the surge right now, followed quite closely by the West. It shows this convergence, religious travel, leisure, industrial needs, all demanding better quality. Quality seems non-negotiable now.
Okay, this sounds almost like a perfect storm for investment. Everything's aligning. But there have to be challenges, right? Any rapid growth like this must create some serious blind spots, some risks.
Oh, absolutely. That's the crucial counterpoint in the research. Operators and investors ignore these at their peril. There are three big ones identified.
Let's get into them. Number one, and I suspect this is the biggest, talent.
By a mile. Talent is the single biggest challenge. These smaller cities, they struggle massively to attract and retain skilled hospitality staff.
Especially those trained in the big city institutes.
Exactly. You can build a beautiful new resort in a Tier 3 town, but then you face this immediate, huge problem of staff attrition. Why? Because the broader social infrastructure, schools, healthcare, other career options outside your hotel just isn't comparable to Mumbai or Delhi.
So people leave.
People leave. Hotels might get built faster than they can be reliably staffed and managed long-term. And that's where quality plunges, even if the physical building is brand new.
So the financial model might look great on paper, cheaper land, lower construction costs maybe.
But the operational costs linked to staffing, constant recruitment, training, maybe providing housing or other incentives that can really eat into your margins, it gets overlooked in the excitement of development.
It's a hidden cost. Okay, what's blind spot number two?
Second is branding and communication. A lot of regional hotels, even the new ones, still operate like purely functional assets, meaning they give you a room, food, basic service, but they don't create an emotional experience. They don't build a narrative, a story around the place.
And in this market driven by culture and story.
If you don't brand effectively, if you don't connect with the local heritage or the reason people are visiting, you're just a bed for the night. You won't build loyalty, you won't stand out.
Makes sense. And the third blind spot ties into that, doesn't it? Design relevance.
It does, directly. The research warns strongly against just, copy-pasting metro templates, dropping a generic glass box hotel into a town known for its heritage.
Guests won't respond well to that?
Probably not, especially if they've traveled specifically for the culture and story of that place. They crave authenticity. They want to see local art, taste local food, feel that the design reflects local pride. If your property ignores that, you've kind of miss the whole point of being there. You lose your unique selling proposition. That perfectly reinforces that quote from Chef Arun you mentioned earlier. In the rush to build rooms, don't forget to build reasons. Exactly. It shifts the focus from just supply, from just counting rooms, to thinking about the demand for genuine experiences.
So let's bring it back to the listener. What does all this mean for you? Whether you're thinking about investment or maybe just planning your next trip within India.
Well, the future view, looking out to 2029, is that the Indian hospitality map is going to look vastly different. Much broader geographically, yes, but also far more indigenous in feel. More focused on creating soulful retreats, empowering local entrepreneurs.
So for an investor.
If you're investing, you need to look beyond just the location potential. You have to scrutinize the developer's plan for tackling that talent issue and their commitment to truly authentic, relevant design. Don't just look at the spreadsheets.
And for a traveler?
For travelers, it means look beyond the usual suspects. There are going to be incredible, high-quality, really story-driven experiences opening up in places you might not have considered before. Seek them out.
It's clear this isn't just numbers on a page. The source material really emphasizes this is also an emotional shift, bringing sort of dignity and opportunity back to the heartland areas.
Yeah, that phrase Chef Arun uses, the next great hotel, won't just be financially justified. It will be believed in. By the locals, by the developers. That's a powerful idea.
It feels like we're watching the hospitality capital of India. Decentralize. Maybe shift away from just Mumbai or Delhi towards places like Ayodhya, Indore, perhaps Guwahati.
I think that's exactly what's happening. It's an awakening, really. Driven one guest experience at a time, one high-quality, culturally plugged-in experience. The question isn't anymore if these markets can support good hotels, but how the hotels can best support and integrate into these markets.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on. If success in these booming regions is truly driven by culture, by local authenticity, by that connection, then how should we really measure success in the future? Is it just about room nights sold the old way? Or is it about something deeper, the quality, the resonance, the depth of that local, authentic experience the hotel provides? Something to think about.